Hello, fam. Welcome. My name is Magdalene Janet. If you are new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because I'm always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Insta because I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to all these goodies. I have my foundation on. I'm wearing this one right here. As always, I always skip the under eye area because less product there, the better. We don't need to be clumping and adding a bunch of crap under here and on the lids. Talking about lids, I did put my eye cream on. I use the Believe eye cream, by far the best eye cream. It just hydrates and it plumps and it's just so good. Kulfi is a new brand at Sephora. I've never seen it before. Someone asked me to review it and I'm so sorry I forgot because I saw the comment. Let's see what Kulfi's all about. This is the packaging. Look how cute is it? And look at this is my shade. Extra Elaichi, I think that's how you pronounce it. So I am excited to try out a new brand at Sephora for you. It comes in a smaller bottle than the usual concealer, so keep that in mind. This is a creaseless hydrating concealer. Those are like the highlighted points. Oh, okay. It's pigmented. It has a nice yellow undertone. And yellow is good because it will help color correct. You see that darkness right there? I'm gonna apply the concealer and blend it out on the left side with this brush, my Sephora 71 brush, and then on the other side with a sponge to see which one we like better, and I'll give you all the info while I do that. This is a new brand at Sephora called Kulfi. This is the Main Match Crease-Proof Long Wear Hydrating Concealer. It retails for only $26. It comes in 12 shades. I'm in the shade Extra Elaichi. This is a crease-proof self-setting hydrating concealer with a radiant looking finish with medium coverage, perfect for hiding the look of dark circles, hyperpigmentation, and blemishes. The coverage is medium. Highlighted ingredients is amla fruit extract that supplies an abundance of antioxidants, saffron flower extract that hydrates and smooths skin, rose hip extract that locks in hydration. This comes in a 0.17 ounce bottle. We have major coverage and hydration. I don't see any darkness peeking through. Well, a little bit with the sponge because we do know the sponge will always sheer product out. Because you can see here, you can see the darkness here versus here. It's more of a full coverage situation. Because girl, okay. This is a brush. There's creasing a little bit right there, but that's also where I have texture. Let's look up. There's no creasing. You see how smooth that is? Let's see a little bit here. Creasing, it's kind of hard. When a concealer says it's creaseless, it can be depending on how your under eyes are. If you're really creasy like me, you're gonna crease regardless. If you don't have too many creases, it will look nice and smooth. So it kind of depends on the person. Oh my God. I'm very impressed. Let me give you guys the time because I'm gonna film another video and then I'll be right back. So it is 6:26. Just kidding, I'm back. I'm all over the place. I haven't filmed, so I need to get it together. Let's get rid of these creases. So this is creasing. Another thing I noticed about the concealer, it is very pigmented and a little bit goes a long way on the doe foot applicator. You guys saw, I didn't have to dip back in to cover my entire face. Let's kind of get into where we put some on the sponge and then just let that sit a little bit. I did let the concealer sit and dry down just a smidge. It could thicken up. What that usually does is dry down the concealer a little bit, gives it a thicker consistency, and then when you tap it, it stays where you placed it, But you guys know we're going to be here tomorrow trying this a little bit differently. I'll probably try using less because it's creasing a lot. A lot. So I'm going to use Givenchy powder, you already know. And I'm going to use this Makeup Forever powder puff. And we're gonna set both under eyes the same way. I find that setting it like this with the powder puff, it just gives you the best freaking finish. You always want to get rid of the creases because you don't want to set creases in. Once you set your under eyes, it's pretty much how it's gonna stay the remainder of the day. Looking straight ahead and then tapping. And then now the other side. And all I do is tap. I don't move around because then that's gonna move all the product we just placed. And it's wasting product. We don't like to waste here. So looking straight ahead. I'm doing that because that's how your eyes naturally rest. So you want to set how you would just look straight ahead. Concealer's looking mighty fine. Here we have the brush. We see a little bit of darkness coming through. Here we have the sponge. You see how it's a little more sheer? And then coverage is slightly better, but not by much. You see this darkness right here? Here is the brush. Here is the sponge. I feel like they look pretty much the same. Yeah, nice and smooth. So that's really good. When it comes to setting powder, you want to make sure you use a setting powder you know works for your skin. There are setting powders that are great for the skin, but kind of mess up this whole under eye area. So we don't want that, you know? So I told you guys the time. I'm just going to finish up the face and then I'll be back. All right, fam, I'm back. Feeling like a new woman. Let me show you the swatch. I haven't washed it off. It's still creamy. Yeah. It has a thin texture, but look how just it blended out. And mind you, it's been on the hand, what, an hour now? So, okay. And let's look at it here. Here's the brush. I just love this coverage a lot better. Here is the sponge. The sponge, you see that darkness right there peeking through? Let me look up so you can see. Do we have any creasing? Nope, not really. The sponge looks really smooth here. The brush too, but it's like this one's a little better. Turning off the lights and looking down. Looking down, you can kind of see like what's happening. You see how the brush, you could barely see that darkness. Here, it's just kind of like this area right there. Is it like super noticeable? No. I think this concealer has great coverage. What do you think? Let me look up. Real close, real close. But let's see how it works out. Oh, another thing I love too, it's only $26. We love affordable makeup at Sephora. I mean, kind of affordable. It's not like $13, but you know. Oh, by the way, my lip is this NYX Loud Lip Liner in On a Mission, and then the whipped in Cherry Cream. I'm feeling red today, you know? Let's go in front of the window. No, I'm gonna go get coffee, and then I'll show you in the car how the concealer looks, because in daylight, it's a game changer. Legit, okay? All right, see you later. Bye. Here we are in front of the window, or like the sun. This eye is the eye with the brush. You see how there's a little more coverage? You can really see it here. And here the sponge side, it's just lighter weight. It doesn't look like we have that much coverage. It could be like a no makeup day type of deal. But the coverage looks really good, I think. What do you think? Here's a brush, here's a sponge. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Bye. Hola fam, it's currently 6:30. We've had the concealer on all day, but of course, as always, before we get started, I do want to show you how the concealer was looking about 2 hours ago. Here on the left side is the side with the brush. I feel like we did have great coverage still. And on the right side is the sponge side. This side was creasing a little bit more, and of course we started off with the lighter coverage. Let me look up so we can see how it's looking. It is creasing. Like, you see these creases that come down. You can tell a lot by how low the creases go. The brush side has less creases than the sponge side. So far, I like the concealer. I think it provides great coverage. The formula is super thin, which causes a lot of that creasing, but we still have coverage. You see that there, so we like that. And I definitely don't look gastada, so that's always a good thing, you know. But this is it for day numero uno. I will be back tomorrow, of course, applying it differently. See you tomorrow morning. Bye. Hey familia, I'm back, day numero dos. So I was thinking, I want to try it out, my e.l.f. primer. This helps prevent any creasing and helps this area kind of last and stay smooth. Not that it wasn't smooth yesterday, but I want to try it out because we did have a lot of creasing. I want to color correct to see if we get a brighter sort of eye. Usually I add primer first, corrector, then concealer. Then of course I'm gonna apply it with the brush because we saw yesterday that was just a better application. Okay, so I just added the primer, and I like to blend it out with my finger so it gives us a nice sheer layer. Now let's color correct. Oops, I didn't mean to do that much, but it's okay. What color corrector does, it's going to cancel out any darkness. Yellow will cancel out purples and blues, which is the type of darkness that I have on my under eyes. I like to concentrate the corrector right here in the corner, and here in the inner corner, and then like right here on the lid, because that's where I am the darkest. And then you could just fade it out. And then with my finger, again, just sheer it out a tad. You see just this highlighted effect we already have without even concealing. Okay, now let's go with the concealer. I really like this shade. I feel like the shade is a winner, especially because I bought it online. Of course, I already added my foundation. I'm using the Lancome, this one right here. Since this concealer does have a thinner texture, it's always good to let it dry down a little bit so that it kind of stays put, and when you blend it out, you have a bit of a thicker consistency because it's already dried down. Tapping will keep the product exactly where we placed it. Look at this before and after. Isn't it like drastic? Look at the lids. You see the hydration right there? You look up. Creasing is less, but that's because of the primer. Primer really helps. All right, so let's apply this side with nothing on. I think I added too much. I did say yesterday I was gonna add less. So if you ever add too much product, you can always just shear it out with your finger. If you shear it out too much, you can always go back with the same brush, and then you can go like a little back and forth moment. See, the darkness is definitely peeking through here, just like we saw yesterday, but let's add a little more because we did remove some with the finger. Corrector primer, nothing. Oh, this is good. We have good coverage here, right? And then look, primer, corrector, nothing here. Oh wow, primer and corrector is creasing. We're gonna go in with some Derma Blend today. Get our powder puff, even it out. You always wanna even out your powder so it applies evenly onto the under eye area or your face or wherever you're placing it. Then I'm just pressing this powder in. Powder looks super light, but no, it's not. Okay, I'm like, with the lights on, you know, I was looking real questionable. Okay, ooh, they look really good. Here's corrector concealer and nothing. I think it's just because it's such a thin, pretty wet formula, it's going to crease regardless. Whether you put a lot of concealer, which is most likely going to crease, or you put less, you will get a little less coverage with it because the formula is just so thin. But once it's set, it's kind of like does what it's supposed to do. Give you coverage, have your under eyes and lids really smooth. You don't have a lot of creasing, and under eyes look super hydrated. So it's just kind of like a little confusing. If you don't set your under eyes, you may not like the concealer because it kind of just, I feel like it goes all over the place. But once it's set and done, we good, you know? Okay, what time is it? Ooh, it's 6:30 in the AM. I'm just gonna finish up the face and what do we think? Here is color corrector and primer, and here is nothing. Let me look up. Oh, they both look so good. You see that coverage? No darkness peeking through. Nothing really here, huh? Here, you know, the lights tell us the truth when we turn them off. Yeah, this is like good coverage. So is this side. My lip combo, I changed it up. I'm back to my nude. You guys know Total Baller, my jam. Lovable Me from Give. NYX Salted Caramel. Get a little gloss going, you know? Hey, you guys, I have the AC blasting and I had to pull over really quick to show you. Here is the corrector and primer. Look how good this looks. Is it me or you can see darkness? And here's the one we just put the concealer on. Like regular, you know? It looks good. I don't know, what do you think? I don't know, I'm feeling yesterday a little bit better, but let me know. Okay, ciao. I'm back. It is 5:30. I'm doing the check-in a little bit early because sun's kind of going in and out and I just want to get it before it goes down. This is how the concealer looks. This side is the side with corrector and primer, and this is just the one by itself. I did wet this side. I forgot to mention it. So you can see darkness peeking through. We have great coverage. I don't look gastada. Final thoughts of this concealer. Do I like it? Yes. I think it's a lightweight, hydrating, pigmented concealer. It does crease a lot, and that's something I don't like. Creases do happen, but I just feel like this one creased so much. For that reason, it's not my favorite. Although the setting powder helps, but throughout the day, like the longevity, you still get creases regardless. We look a little bit better, but it's also because we have that primer down there. If I were to choose a concealer, especially around like the cheaper end at Sephora, I would choose Sephora's Best Skin Ever concealer, the one that just released. Very similar. This texture is just a little bit thicker because one of the main highlighted things this concealer is supposed to do is not crease, and I think that's what we got the most of. Of course, I'm going to be trying more products of this brand. I do love new brands at Sephora, and this is a South Asian brand, so you guys know I'm always supporting my women out here, especially my women of color. Please let me know your thoughts on this. Have you seen it around? Have you gotten it? What do you think? Love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of your day with me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh girl, this lighting.